Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Let's do that. It is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. On this Thursday morning, it's May 18th, birthday day here on Coffee Ann. We're very happy about that. 2 bells for the 2 birthday people here. So congratulations. Happy birthday, Em.
Thank you very much.
And happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Both turning 21 today, I see. That's very good.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
amazing. I don't know how that was achieved, so I'm impressed by that. Scott McGee is going to join us a little later on, and we'll also be joined by Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates a little later on today as well. So in the meantime, it is time for a first message, Em, from the Call newspaper.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So,
Building still closed?
Unfortunately, the building is still closed. They are taking down the ceiling.
Okay.
As we speak, there was actually a tin ceiling that they had to. Yeah. So once they took down the kind of the drop ceiling, they found tin, but obviously because of it being over 100 years old, they needed to take that down. So we are still closed, but we are still printing papers. If you need anything, you can either call myself at 401-767-8500, or you can call Christina at 401-767-8503. Both her and I are still getting calls for people who want to advertise, or if they need to put in an obit or classified or legal ad. So we're still open for business, just not at the Call building at this time. But as soon as we're back up and running after the renovations are done, I will definitely let everybody know. And we have Father's Day right around the corner.
Yes.
So our Father's Day contest is starting. You can start with your 1 vote a day on either the woonsocketcall.com or pawtuckettimes.com starting on Saturday. So we have, some great prizes again. This year we have some great participants, local businesses that are, going to be included in the contest. So, definitely go online. You can vote once a day, and it. So Bob is making sure that he goes and votes, and making sure that that the family remembers him on Father's Day.
Only vote I'm going to get.
Right. Your 1 vote, Bob.
My 1 vote.
But if you have any questions, or if you would like to advertise in the next segment, I'll be talking about a great opportunity that we just launched last week. And you can give me a call at 401-767-8500.
All right, very good there, Em.
Can you tell us what level of the building was the tin ceiling on?
The first floor. Yeah,
Wow.
the first floor, in the, kind of in our main office, space in the front.
Yeah.
So, so they've been taking that down. So obviously there's been a lot of, commotion and noise and things like that. And, regarding, safety and also the noise level, it would be hard for us, to be on the phones with, all that kind of noise and, just safety concerns for our customers, coming in and out of the building. That's
Makes you wonder when the tin ceiling was actually installed.
Yeah.
When it was installed.
Yeah,
Which probably seemed like a good idea at the time.
Exactly.
when they did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, if anyone who's ever been into our front office at the Call, we did have a wall behind, Christina, where Christina has been sitting for the past, almost 30 years. And now that wall is down and it's all exposed brick.
Ah, okay.
So they've been doing a lot. They've, gotten all the carpeting, up. That's been removed. They're actually building an office. We're going to have a new entry doorway and things like that. So the Historical Society and the workers have been hard at work making sure that everything is done for the period of when the building was originally built. So it's exciting.
Wow,
It's
great.
very, very exciting. So I can't wait to see when it's all finished. Hopefully, they'll be finishing up demolition soon, and we can get back into the office. But
Right. But until then.
until then, yes.
All right. We had a note that was called in after yesterday's coffee, and it's for you specifically, Bob. So it wasn't for yesterday's panel.
Okay.
So they wanted the question is specifically for you. So Bob, the question is, what happens when somebody quote fakes their own death and is then found out to still be alive?
Well, I heard you mention this question earlier, and
Yeah.
Dave Richards had the best answer I could think of.
And what is that?
They extradited him from Scotland.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say they're still in the United States.
Okay.
Didn't leave the country. I would say it is illegal to fake your own death.
It would depend, I think, a lot on the purpose behind it and what the results were. If you're faking your own death in order to collect on an insurance policy or something like that, then I would think that you have some serious problems with the insurance company and fraud. If you were faking your own death merely to disappear and start your life over again, and there's no significant consequences to anybody else, I'm not sure that faking your own death is in fact illegal. I'll have to look that up again. Because if you just want to walk off and never be seen again and start over as a new individual with a new name and apply for a new social security number, that part may be difficult because you need a birth certificate usually.
Yeah.
But you can do that pretty effectively, and I don't think that's necessarily illegal.
Yes, you can walk off and try to start a new life, but
Right.
actually like put like an obituary in the call and say,
Yeah, that's
say this person has actually passed away, kind of thing. And
Unless there's some nefarious reason behind it or results
Well, it
coming
would
from
be.
it. You're,
I don't think
you're
I'd-
trying to avoid
I
creditors.
can't
or
think of a
things like that.
non-nefarious reason.
Well, there are people who just are tired with their particular lifestyle and the community they live in, and
Yeah.
maybe the responsibilities of family and not necessarily children, wife or children, but other parts of the family, and they just want to leave.
Well, and I mean,
Okay.
and sometimes it's, it's not just in the movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if it's a volatile situation at home and they feel like they can't, get away, and they want to be safe. Sometimes, extreme measures and that type of thing.
As for the gentleman who's in Scotland and claiming that he is not the
Person,
individual
yeah.
from Rhode Island, I expect that he will be extradited eventually. It seems
Okay.
as though in the Scottish courts he's not been able to establish that he's somebody else and he really is that individual.
All righty. Well, I hope that answers the question for the caller. 766-1240 if you want to call in your own comments and questions. Okay. Anybody going to see Taylor Swift this weekend?
Actually, my daughter is going
Is she?
on Friday night. Yeah.
Yeesh. Who's she going with? Just
Her
friends?
No, it might be her twin.
Okay.
Not really sure. I haven't talked. Well, I talked to them on Sunday. I mean, I'm a stepmom, but she's my daughter.
Yeah.
And I know that I believe her mom is taking her.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Are you going to be there?
No. let's be serious, Bob.
If somebody gave me tickets, I would go, but
Okay.
I would not pay,
Pay the money?
No, I mean
thousands of dollars
Don't
to
get me
go,
wrong.
Bob.
I have paid a lot of money.
Thousands of dollars? though?
No, hundreds.
Okay.
To go and see particular
I
concerts.
think the face value is $400.
Whoa!
But people are paying thousands of dollars to go.
I've paid more than $400 to go
Have
and
you?
see a concert.
All right.
Yeah.
But living in that general area, we were already getting the signals.
Oh, I bet.
Of
Stay
traffic.
away.
Of stay away. The whole Foxborough, Mansfield, and then I started getting notices. North of Foxborough is the town of Walpole, and it's just as bad for them. People coming down from the north,
Yeah, exactly.
that try to avoid the highway
Mm-hmm.
and cut through the streets to try to get to Foxborough.
Well, I
Stadium.
mean,
and
just
it's just
yeah,
insane.
Just the fact that the young people this morning that have been, since like 2:30 this morning, camped out just for merchandise. They're not even.
that started today. That's
they're
right.
not even there to try to get tickets. Just merchandise.
Well, they probably have tickets and they want to wear the merchandise to the show.
Maybe.
So
But it's pandemonium.
It
and of course there's rumors that Taylor after her three-day concert stint at Foxborough will be staying a week at her lovely home in Westerly.
That's right. She's down in Watch Hill, right on the beach. So.
Yeah.
Joining us on the phone is Scott McGee. Hello there, Scott.
Hey, how are you today?
Good.
Good morning.
Do you have your Taylor Swift
Morning.
tickets?
No, I don't. I'm just
No.
going to go to the house for the after party.
There you go. All right. You and a million of your closest friends. All
Yeah,
right.
we're in.
Um,
We're in.
And we're already not only are we getting warnings, by the way, in my area about the Taylor Swift is stay away from Foxborough, but Janet Jackson's at the Xfinity Center on
Yes.
Friday night, so there'll be traffic in Mansfield.
Oh yes.
And
The Magic Bus is going to Janet Jackson. Florida, yeah.
Okay, and then the Celtics
Yeah.
and the Heat are playing in Boston
yeah.
on Friday night.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just crazy.
It's just stay
Crazy.
out of Massachusetts. So you don't have to go.
But
it's nuts.
I will say Janet Jackson is phenomenal in concert.
Okay.
So I saw her, it was either 93 or 1994.
Pre Super Bowl.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, mine
I was
absolutely.
probably there. I went to one of those too.
Yeah, it was the Velvet Rope Tour. It was the Velvet Rope Tour. It was at the Providence Civic Center. And what an ensemble of incredible dancers. The performance level and the theatrics and things like that were, second to none.
So I would expect nothing less at this outing.
Yes.
This
yeah,
event. So.
absolutely.
All right. So, Janet, do you have Janet Jackson tickets this time around, Scott?
No, my partner does, my real estate partner. Oh, really? And she's borrowing the Magic Bus, and there's like 10 of them going, so they're going to have a good time at that one, I think.
What is the Magic Bus?
Yeah.
The Magic Bus, it was our campaign bus. I don't know if you remember.
I do remember that, driving around the city, yeah. Has it been...
So what do I do with it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just goes to Janet Jackson concerts now, I guess.
Oh, there you go. Has it been repainted?
Well, no, those were all just signs stuck to it.
Oh, they were signs
so
stuck to it. Okay.
They're all up.
All right.
It's just black now. Like
Well,
a black mist.
if the bus wants to park in my driveway and you guys want to walk, you're perfectly welcome to do that, okay?
All right.
It's a 20-minute walk from my house. So
Not bad.
no, I walk it.
Right? Exactly.
All right. All right. Enough about Taylor Swift and Janet Jackson. So Scott, front page of the call today. Dan McKee, his plan is to move a lot of the homeless that were in Providence from the Cranston Street Armory down to the Motel 6 in Warwick. But now they're talking about possibly coming up this way and putting them in the motels on Eddie Darling Highway, the one right next to the ice rink and the one up a ways at the high top. And they're also kicking around the idea of bringing them to Woonsocket as well. Have you heard anything as city council member? Have you been abreast of all this?
We've been hearing rumors about it, and they had asked about the hotel room. Basically funding some of that. I mean, this is a sensitive situation, and to me, I've actually dealt with homeless myself. I think I've told you guys that before. I've taken a few into my house myself to try to help out during COVID and things like that. But I mean, I feel that they just need to be. There's got to be a better solution. Putting these people back to work, so on and so forth. And I'm not saying that all homeless people, are capable of that, but there's a lot of them that just don't really want to work. And that becomes an issue. And I think if we're going to spend the money on a hotel room, we just can't keep doing that. We just can't keep funding, housing for, because I know personally, the last time the council did it last year, I did have one of the homeless kids living with me, and then he ended up at the Woonsocket Motor Inn, and then literally, smoking, drinking all day, doing nothing. So
Yeah.
that drove me crazy. So I mean, I guess I've had the bad side of it. So I'm a little tainted by it, but as long as there's a plan, I feel like someone's going to be. I don't know if it's unemployment needs to hang out at these places and say, okay, you're capable of this, you're capable of this, let's get you going, find housing, like get you on a better route. That's how I feel about it. Anyway.
Okay, all right. What are you hearing, Em, about them coming up this way? Anything?
The same rumors.
Same thing? Okay.
You know, the
Yeah.
same rumors. You know, it's a shame that, you know, the Armory couldn't have done, you know, more. You know, it's still, you know, a large issue in the whole state. Not just, you know, up here in the north. You know, there's a lot of, you know, people, you know, that are unfortunate and are, you know, living, you know, on the streets, and, you know, it's a huge issue even in Providence. It's just something that there's a fine line, and, you know, there's the unfortunate, and then there's, you know, unfortunate.
It's tricky, and you have to remember, like, some of these situations, you know, even in here in Woonsocket, I know, you know, we went through the encampments and all of that, and, you know, they offered shelters to some of these people, and, you know, I think it was 2 out of 9, if I'm not mistaken, said that they would go, and the other one said they didn't want to go because Woonsocket was their home. But if you're, you know, living in a tent and someone's offering you shelter, that's where I had trouble believing, you know, or accepting that you're not going to go get shelter, you know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's, you know, you really have. I think that's why they need a case manager for each one, you know, and basically saying what they're capable of, so we can get them, you know, back on their feet. Because there's legit homeless people that work and just don't make enough money to pay the higher rents right now. So
Right.
that's a bigger issue, I think. You know.
All right, we're gonna
But
take a break right here in the Coffee and program. More on this is coming up. But Em, it's time for a second message from the Call newspaper.
Yes. So until June 30th, we actually have a great program that we launched last week. It is a new program up here in the north, or if you want to do this down in our South County area, that is available as well. If you're trying to reach, you know, some business, no matter what industry that you're in, for people to come up here or for you to get more business down there. And it is an email blast program. So it's not just an email blast to 5,000 homes of your choosing, of, you know, zip code, demographic, you know, if it's a restaurant, eating habits, things like that. We can get very, very specific to whom your perfect customer is. Then you also receive 5,000 additional, you know, impressions on our websites. And, you know, we do have 6 websites in the state of Rhode Island, not just the Woonsocket Call and the Pawtucket Times. Also, you would receive for 7 days straight 1/8 of a page in the publication of your choosing. And the billing is actually split over 2 months. So it is a $600 value. So it would be, you know, say you wanted to do it in June, it would be $300 in June, and then you would be billed $300 in July. But it's great exposure. The email blast is proven to show that you do receive 2% return on investment. And actually, perfect example, one of my beloved accounts, they did a email blast, and the person actually came in with the printed email.
Wow.
into their store. So it does work. So if you are interested in participating in this new campaign that we have, it is only available until June 30th, but feel free to give me a call at 401-767-8500.
All right, Em, more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Stick around.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with REMAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Em, you want to do a little singing this morning?
Sure. You can reach Scott at 401-639-2906.
Let's hear it one more time.
401-639-2906.
All right, Scott, you got a listing for
That
us?
was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
You got a listing
I
for us?
got a new listing actually in Woonsocket. Coming up this weekend. I'm taking the photos today. It'll be online tomorrow, but really, really neat as a pin, eat off the floor listing. Up at East Woonsocket, 84 Knollwood Drive. It's not in the computer yet, so you won't find it online. 84 Knollwood Drive is a single-family ranch house. It's going on at 369.9. It's about 1,000 square feet on the main level, but it's well laid out. It sounds a little small, but it's well laid out because you got 480 finished square feet, which is beautiful in the lower level. It has 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, beautiful yard, manicured. It's already mulched and ready to go. Nice deck in the back, and it's private. So super, super location. Neat as a pin when I tell you need to do nothing to this house. It's immaculate. But, yeah, that's what I got today. So it sits on about a quarter of an acre up on Knollwood Drive in Woonsocket.
All right, Scott, very good. All right, on another topic, you read about these things every once in a while, and it's a school-related issue, and you feel bad because most of the kids involved are the innocent bystanders in this situation, and it comes down to Gallagher Middle School, which is in Smithfield, and on the boys' baseball team. And they had a very good season this year. They went 10-0.
Wow.
And they were planning on playing in the playoffs and going for the state championship. Well, it comes to light that one of the players academically ineligible.
Oh.
So they took away 5 victories. So instead of 10-0, now they're 5-5, and they don't make the playoffs because of the record. I'm like,
Wait a minute. What was academically like
when
he
I
didn't have...
when I played sports and when Em
Yeah.
played sports in high school and in middle school,
Right.
you had to have passing grades.
Yeah, you had to have
Had
a certain...
a 2.0 at
Yeah.
least GPA.
And if you-
if you didn't, you're off the team. That
Exactly.
was cut and dry, black and white. There was no 2 ways about it.
Okay, but
So
you
one of the
went-
kids is failing at least one class or whatever, or 2 classes or whatever it is.
All right, but
and
you,
he can- and he
you
can
start
do-
school in September. You don't have any grades at all until what, your first quarter or first? So you don't have grades until
Yeah, but baseball
maybe-
season is now. It's in the spring,
Yeah.
so they have their grades.
Oh,
And
But-
so they're supposed to be, if you're failing, I'm not sure what the protocol is. I guess your grades are reported to the coach or the
Yes.
or the athletic director or something like that. Because I had it in high school on soccer team where all of a sudden the player is not there anymore because he's failing. Okay, you just don't play. So this is what happened in Gallagher, failing grades, but he continued to play.
did the team rules regulations say that you would forfeit games if you had one of your
If you
players? who
play an
didn't-
ineligible player, yes.
Yes.
That's the Rhode Island Interscholastic League
Yes.
rules.
Yeah.
That seems very harsh, but okay.
It's
Well,
the rule.
Yeah, and I
And you
mean,
know it ahead
really,
of time.
are you going to give credit to being a former athlete? Being on a team, it is a team, and if you're not doing what you should be doing educational wise, which education always comes first, and you're failing, should you be rewarded to continue playing on a team?
Yeah, but I think you could also argue that athletics is an industry, and it's an area in which an individual who is athletically proud can actually excel and make significant sums of money. And if you are depriving a child of the opportunity to become a Major League Baseball player because he didn't pass science class, is that really in that child's best interest overall? Shouldn't you
Well-
be saying, let's develop the kid so he can become the Major League Baseball player, he can earn millions of dollars, and the fact that he doesn't know how to, the formula for oxygen and hydrogen doesn't really matter.
All right. Well, first of all, it's the middle school, Bob. So
Yeah.
tough to tell if these kids are going on to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But they start somewhere.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
right. So if they're that gifted, then drop out of school and go play Major League Baseball.
You
If
can't
you're gonna-
do that when you're in the eighth grade.
No, you can't. So you have to play by the rules of the school if you want to play for the school, and the school says you will pass your classes.
Is that the school or is that the team?
That's every
Everything.
school,
Every school.
every sport. You will pass. It's in college too.
Yes, it is.
Supposed
Well,
to be
yeah,
anyway.
but-
No, it is.
right.
I played college sports.
Well, I'm thinking about college football players, but
no,
anyway.
I
The
played.
rumors are that some college football players are dumber than dirt.
I know this
and,
table. I go.
They go on to fantastic
and
careers.
a lot of them drop out before they graduate, so they could go play football.
Okay.
Because they are failing.
Well, it's so they can make money, and part of the reason you're living is to make money so you can support your family and your future. I'm not sure that I.
But the rules apply not only to the sports, but any extracurricular activity. You want to be in a chess club, okay, but you better be passing your grades,
Yeah.
or you're not on the club. You can't go to their tournaments.
Because that's an extracurricular activity. It's
Right.
not a main part of the daily education that you're receiving from the school that you're going to.
Okay, but I still think an argument can be made that by enforcing this kind of a rule, you are potentially depriving an athletically gifted individual from being able to perform and go out and get a good job just because he doesn't know how to speak French.
Well, learn how to speak it.
Okay,
least so that you're passing.
This is another reason why I was never on the football
Well,
team.
yeah.
that's-
So let's put this scenario out there. So, okay, say that they're in high school and they're a phenomenon, and they're keeping their grades up, so just to the level of what they are expected to be. And say that they fail a class and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna try out for the the NBA, or because I'm 18, because a lot of people who graduate from high school are 18, 19, 17, but 18 you're an adult. Oh, I don't need school anymore, I'm gonna go out for the draft, whatever the sport may be. First season, they blow out a knee.
Yep.
They're done. Their
Sports career's
career
over.
is done. What are they going to do then?
I would imagine they could have the opportunity to go back to school. They could go back to try and get back into college, but they've had the opportunity to excel in something that they anticipated they were going to be very good in. A high school education is really necessary. A college education is good to help you get ahead, but it's not absolutely necessary. And under the circumstances that Em was talking about, I think the individual could still have some opportunities to re-educate.
Well, in this scenario, like Em said, baseball, basketball, football, chess, art club, whatever, is extra from your education. And the rule is you need to be passing in order to participate. Because if you're failing, you really should be spending more time studying and working on your academics, not worrying about whether or not you can hit a curveball.
I'm surprised that I am the only one of the
I am
three of
shocked
us
that you
is
are thinking
more,
this way, Bob.
more liberal when it comes to play against sports. Wow.
Well, I played it in high school and middle school, and
Yeah,
we all passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
You still
That
there?
was a big feedback.
I think we lost Scott.
But I mean, during high school, I played tennis in the fall, and I did chorus, chamber chorus, and I did musicals in the spring, and those were 2 extracurricular activities.
And if you talk to a lot of the like your football, basketball, baseball
Yeah.
players at college, there's classes in the morning, and then there's study groups
Yes.
with tutors to help them what they just went to class with, and then you practice in the afternoon.
Yeah, and the same
because they
thing.
have to keep
Yeah.
to keep the grades up, or they won't play.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the rules now. But
Those have been the rules
I would-
forever.
I would champion for some changes in the
When
rules.
I first heard about this thing down in Smithfield, when they said the player was ineligible, I said, "Oh, please don't tell me they took a 9th or a 10th grader and brought them down
Yeah,
to
yeah,
play with the
but no.
8th and 7th graders." I said, "Oh, that would be terrible." So when I found it was an academic thing, I'm like, "Well, okay, at least they didn't do that."
Yeah.
And now the parents down there, they're more upset, I think, than the players, because here it is May 18th, and they said grades closed back in the middle of April. Why are we just finding out about it now?
This now, yes.
Because if we knew about it then, maybe
So
we
then
only
we
forfeit
need-
2 games.
Well, yeah, and
get
then-
the kid off the team, and they keep playing, and maybe they win. They can go on and play in the playoffs.
Well, then you have to, hold accountable the administration,
Yes,
the coach,
and the coach. Yeah,
the athletic director.
yeah, everybody.
So
What is
I
go-
mean, that's
And so when I saw it on Channel 10's website, they reached out to all those people. They didn't call us back.
no,
Ooh,
I
what a
wouldn't think so.
surprise. All right, we do have a note that's been called in. Happy birthday to Bob and Emily. We need more people like you in this world. Aw.
Wow.
Signed-
Thank you very much.
Signed Emily's mom.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Kidding
Thank
about
you.
that part. All right, time for the weather forecast right now, and that's being brought to you by Insperity.
Sunny skies today with a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, clear, overnight low of 39. Friday's weather increasingly cloudy with a high of 68. Saturday, 80% chance of showers, mainly after 11 a.m. Patchy fog, high of 66. Winds gusting to 25 miles per hour Saturday. Sunday, 60% chance of continued rain with a high of 73 degrees, and then partly sunny skies are likely by the end of the day. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 67. Tuesday, sunshine and 68. And Wednesday, sunshine and 76.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with the sunny skies, we have 51 degrees. Insperity, providing scalable HR solutions, access to better benefits, HR technology, and payroll for over 35 years. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Kathy LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 vaults and is replaying original shows from the 80s. This week, Casey takes you back to May 19th, 1984. That's when the Scorpions wanted to rock you like a hurricane. Laura Branigan lost her self-control. Shalimar was dancing in the sheets. And Madonna was pushing her love over the borderline. You'll hear those songs, all of the top 40 hits, and the long-distance dedications from May 19th, 1984, right here on American Top 40, the 80s.
It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Thursday morning, it is May 18th. This is Joe Callahan. We're joined at the Coffee In table by Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning, Chief. Nice to have you here. Emily Haney-Sheen from the calls here. Bob Lauder is here. And Bob, time for first message from your law office, please.
Thank you. But I have to tell you when I start this that at the end of my commercials, I usually give my telephone number.
Yeah.
And when I was typing these out the other night, came down to the phone number and it was going through my mind. 401 and 639. And that's Scott McGee's phone number. It's not my own. It's very intoxicating. I hear that a lot. Good morning. I'd like to talk to you this morning about a recent Supreme Court case in Rhode Island which involved parental dispute concerning COVID-19 vaccinations for pre-adolescent children. The case is known as Nagel versus Nagel, and it was decided on May 5th. In the Nagel case, the father and mother had divorced and had entered into a property settlement agreement which provided in part that neither party shall unreasonably withhold his or her consent to medical treatment for the children or the administration of medication recommended by a pediatrician for the children. When the parents could not agree upon the issue of vaccinating the children against COVID-19 virus, one of the parties petitioned the family court for an order to compel the administration of the vaccines. The other party objected. The trial judge reviewed the facts and determined that there was a lack of uniformity of expert opinion regarding whether children should receive the COVID-19 vaccinations, but she also acknowledged the expertise of the American Academy of Pediatricians and Centers for Disease Control, which recommended the vaccines. The judge ruled that although there was opposition by one of the parties, and that opposition could be considered reasonable, it was in the best interest of the children to enter into the administration of the vaccines. Upon appeal to the Supreme Court, the parent in opposition argued that if the trial judge determined it was reasonable to be in opposition, that the parent had not violated the terms of the property settlement agreement in withholding reasonable treatment, and for the judge to impose the obligation of vaccination was the judicial rewriting of the property settlement agreement. The Supreme Court disagreed. The court noted that the trial judge had reviewed the testimony of the children's treating pediatrician and determined that in the absence of any underlying medical conditions which posed a risk to the recipient of the vaccine, that it was in the best interest of the children to be allowed to have one of the parents have the children vaccinated. The action of the trial judge was not a rewriting of the agreement, but rather protecting the best interest of the children. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number really is 762-4550. Disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
How do you choose which child gets the vaccine?
Yeah.
I think they both got the vaccine.
Oh, they said, well, pick one.
No.
And then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, they both
got it.
Both got it.
Well, all right, then. All right. So Chief Oates is with us. If you have any comments or questions for him, give us a call, 766-1240. First of all, congratulations on your police officers who completed the cops walk down to Washington.
Yeah,
Good for them.
They did a great job. They all got back safe and sound.
Good.
A little bit sore.
I bet.
But
no medical issues along the way. No twisted ankles. Nothing like that. Great.
Everything was very good this year. Of course, the weather they said was perfect for them. And different times, the weather can be. You can get run into snow depending on that time of the year if you're going certain places. But it was very good. But it's a tremendous thing that they do, and they do it throughout the year. There's a core group led by Lieutenant Martinson that run a series of fundraisers. They just had the comedy night at Savini's Pomodoro on the Saturday before and raised money. I don't have the total yet on that. And then they have a golf tournament that'll be later on this year that's already scheduled. But last year, they raised close to $30,000 for the survivors. So it's a great thing. And at the kickoff of it, Maria Shaw was at the police station. It's always great to see her. I worked with her husband, Stephen, in Providence when he was killed in the line of duty in Providence. So she's a real big supporter of obviously she knows firsthand what needs there are for a family that's lost a loved one as a result of violence after them being a police officer.
Did they have a lot of support along the way? Deputy Chief Kaluro says a lot of times people are out there cheering them along.
Yeah, they will at certain times, but keep in mind they're going. They're
24
not
hours.
They're not stopping. They're going 24 hours. They're
So
on
it's 2 in the
secondary.
morning,
They're on
not too much.
No, they're on secondary. They're on secondary roads. I mean,
Yeah.
we have it set up safely with them where there's a police cruiser that's following the two campers that they're actually in with most of their clothing and water and stuff that they need, but they take turns jumping out and running on the way. So it's continuous down. They made it down there by I think 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday at the Washington D.C. line. So it was great.
Now,
How long was the total run time?
Like I said, by the time they got there, they left here at 9 o'clock in the morning on 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and it might have been Friday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that they got there.
Wow.
Few days.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
quick.
no.
So what do they actually stop for food, or does one of the
No.
campers break off and pick
No.
up pizzas and bring it back?
No,
And how's that done?
They get food prepared before. You know, a lot of it's just protein bars and fruit and
All right.
things that you'd have. And
So
it's
no
a camper.
McDonald's burgers,
It's a
I see.
camper. It's a camper, so it's refrigerated.
Yeah,
So they're,
yeah,
you know, so they have that. And then with the fact of them doing that running, anyone who knows that you're doing running, I mean, they have breaks in between it, but you're not going to have a turkey dinner and go out.
Yeah, exactly.
And go out and run,
Run.
because
On a heavy
because-
stomach.
Yeah, because they take times where they basically go out and run for almost an hour.
Yeah.
So when they're all done, all of them do over 20 miles
Wow.
during the run. So
All right. Well, glad it was a success.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now that we're into springtime, Chief, have the officers broken out the bicycles for the
Yeah.
bike patrols?
I did 15 miles yesterday.
You did? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know you
I
did
saw
that.
you. I saw you a couple of weeks ago. He was on his
Yeah.
was on his bike.
When
Yeah.
does that start?
As soon as the weather normally goes,
good,
and
better.
when the weather gets better, and
What
then
about like last night because it was really cold? I know they don't do it at night, but
No, they go from 4 to 8 o'clock at night. I don't know
it's been
if
chilly.
anyone was on, but I know besides I had gone out in the morning, and I know there were 3 officers on bikes in the afternoon from noon to 4 yesterday, and I've got 2 electric bikes besides the regular pedal bikes, which the idea with that is expands the areas that they can go.
how
You know,
fast
especially
can
some-
electric bikes go?
Up to 28 miles an hour.
They
though.
can. Okay, that's pretty good speed.
No, yeah, it is. I haven't ridden one yet. I'm the old-fashioned. They've been trying to get me on it. In fact, last week when I rode, one of the younger officers was on an electric bike, and I was on a regular bike. No, it's a great tool. Even with me, it gives me the ability to see people and things that I normally wouldn't see. I mean, I was able to stop at the soup kitchen that Gene
New
runs
Beginnings, yep.
at New Beginnings, and see them, and then it's fun to see the reaction that you get from a lot of people because they don't expect, especially it's me
Oh, no.
on the
Ooh,
bike,
doing
and
the
they'll
Chiefs
say,
here.
so I'll joke with them. What's that? Why are you on the bike? Oh, I'm being punished. Well, the car, we need money for gas, so saving a little bit. Here.
Budget is tight this year.
Right, it is too.
Well, that's true. Recruitment. I know that's a kind of ongoing thing.
Yeah,
You
we're
have new cadets?
we're struggling. The good news is I have 5 recruits that are in the academy that did very well.
Good.
And they're graduating the 26th next Friday. So that'll be a shot in the arm of 5 more.
5 new ones.
5 new ones. This last recruit process, we started somewhere in the 40s that signed up. The bottom line, we're at the point right now where we're doing backgrounds in psychological and physical on only 4 candidates, even though I have many more openings than that. But this is not me. Providence, I understand, just started or is starting their academy, and they were authorized to go up to 50. They've only got 30 that they've got, and even there, they've gone to the point, too, of accepting something no one had thought, laterals from other police departments that could just transfer over to Providence, and that's new. So it's a struggle everywhere. State police, they kicked out their campaign at least once that I know of, maybe twice. And their numbers are way down. I mean, when I left Smithfield to go to Providence, it's a 40-person academy with 2,000 people that applied.
Wow.
In the state police, the same thing in that time frame.
You just don't see that anymore.
The applications were always around 2,000 candidates for anywhere from 20 to 30 positions. But no, it's just it's the mindset, I believe. That policing is very difficult now more than ever, and we don't see the public support that we used
Do
to
you think
get.
it's cyclical? Do you think it'll come back at some point?
I hope, because I've seen the highs and lows. When I came on in the early 70s, Vietnam was just ending, so there was a lot of anti-law enforcement, that was then. And then, of course, unfortunately, 9/11 happened, and for a period of time, law enforcement and public safety couldn't do anything wrong. We were everybody's darlings. And so I hope it'll be secular, but I don't know, because I just, even during those times, I never saw the numbers that low of people that are interested. And then the big problem is if these numbers continue to trend that low, even here, I've got over 20 people that are pension eligible that if they found another job could walk out the door.
Just walk, yeah.
And that's the same thing, if you look at Rhode Island Corrections, they brought that up. They just got a good work contract, and part of it was incentivized to keep people on, keep people working, because they've got over 120 some correctional officers that I believe that could just walk out the door at any given time.
Do you think any of it has to do with demographics, that there's a lower population of younger people now than there was a few years ago?
I think it's just the generation itself. This Generation Z, as they call it, they're it's different. Their work ethic is different. A lot of I think if you talk to experts too, the flexibility that COVID showed a lot of people. People don't want to go back to conventional workplaces. You mean I can work at home for most of the time and only go to the office one day a week and make the same amount of money. And so people looking at other professions, they're saying, why do I want a job that I'm tied into a car for 8 hours a day? And in our cases, a lot guys are forced and girls are forced to stay over or come into work early. It's weekends, holidays, nights. So it's not compared to other. There's a lot of more attractive professions out there where, most of the people, especially in my era in law enforcement when I started, just wanted to be police officers, and you saw very little movement from department to department. If you get on the Providence Police, I did 36 years. If you get on the state police, you stayed for as long as you could stay and then moved on. It was very rare back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even recent years of moving from one police department to another.
How large is the Woonsocket Police Force?
We're authorized for 101 through city budget. I've got funding through the school department for an additional 4 officers for SRO, school resource officers. So altogether, I'd be able to, if I could hire, up to 105.
Wow.
And you're at 80 or so? Is that the last time?
Right now, I'm at 90. With everybody included.
Okay. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. So, Bob, it's time for a second message from your law office, please.
Thank you. The second recent Rhode Island Supreme Court case I'd like to discuss with you this morning involves a challenge to the specificity of a criminal statute. And the case is known as State versus Vose. Over a period of several years, local police had responded to calls from neighbors and shopkeepers in the area surrounding the home of an elderly woman, alleging that she was exhibiting signs of confusion, wandering, and appeared to be disoriented. The police investigation revealed that the woman was living with her son, and that she was poorly clad, had not been eating properly, that her home was a disorderly state, with garbage and open bags of dog food throughout, and urine-soaked newspapers on the floor. When the police attempted to discuss the condition with the son, he allegedly became belligerent and told the police to stop bothering his mother. Approximately a year after the first contact, the son was charged with neglecting an adult with severe impairments, a violation of Section 11-5-12 of the General Laws of the State of Rhode Island. After a trial in which the son was found guilty, he filed an appeal to the state Supreme Court. The son alleged that the statute under which he had been charged did not properly define the terms services necessary to maintain physical or mental health, and it did not properly notify a potential criminal defendant of what specific conduct is prescribed, and those phrases are essential to this element of the statute. The Supreme Court ruled that a penal statute must contain a description or definition of the act or conduct which comprises the offense, But that so long as the statute is constitutionally specific, the court will not consider the defendant's facial vagueness challenge. The court ruled that when determining whether a statute is unconstitutionally vague, the standard employed is whether the disputed verbiage provides adequate warning to a person of ordinary intelligence that his conduct is illegal. In the present case, where the statute declares that a primary caregiver who shall willfully and knowingly abuse or neglect or exploit an adult with severe limitations shall be subject to the penalties outlined in the Act, the common definition of the terms neglect is sufficient to provide adequate warning to a person of ordinary intelligence that the conduct is illegal by a common understanding and practice. The defendant then argued that the issue as to whether or not his mother suffered from severe impairment could only be determined by a jury after hearing testimony from an expert. Supreme Court ruled that while a jury may benefit from an expert testimony, that in this particular case, the expert testimony was not required because the facts and the circumstances were accurately described to the jury, and the jury was capable of comprehending and understanding such facts and drawing correct conclusions from those facts. If you'd like to discuss this or legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thanks. More Coffee and coming up. Stay tuned.
The tradition continues at the Broaster House, 263 Pond Street in Woonsocket. Great food, excellent choices. Enjoy family-style chicken or broasted chicken. 4, 6, 8, 12 pieces, plus great entrees like broasted pork chops, ribeye steak, and more. The Broaster House is also noted for its seafood, English fish and chips, or broasted fish and chips. Other seafood favorites include fried scallops and butterfly or baked stuffed shrimp. Check out their takeout, catering, and children's menu. The Broaster House, Pond Street, Woonsocket, 762-1717.
Hello, everyone. This is Paul Da Silva. There's a special event coming to Woonsocket. On Friday night, May 19th, from 7 to 9 p.m., Josie Vachon, with her French folklore repertoire, will perform at the Precious Blood Church Hall on Carrington Avenue. Also, the program will feature Paul Aaron, an Elvis tribute artist. Tickets are only $10 and are available by phone, 401-744-6845, or at the door. But hurry because seating is very limited. An event you don't want to miss.
All right, it's Coffee Ann here on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Bob Lauder. Emily Haney-Sheehan is with us, and Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates is with us as well. And let's see. I saw it in the Call newspaper a couple of days ago, and I'm sure it's rare, but it's just a bizarre event of the sexual assault that took place at World War II Park about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Between two homeless people.
It's unfortunate. I know at least one of them was. I'm not certain what the other was,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
One of the victim looked like they might have been impaired by the alcohol or something else, and somebody else was taking advantage of that. Luckily, a citizen had seen it and tried even, which they probably shouldn't have done, was they tried to interrupt it, but notified us, and we were able to respond. So, unfortunately, that bad behavior does happen once in a while.
Well, sure, okay.
One of the parts that seemed really tragic on that, though, was, if I understood correctly, the victim was also living in a tent with minor children with her.
14 and 2. Yeah.
And I was talking with someone who works with the school department recently, and they were telling the number of children who are living in they're marginal conditions. Mm-hmm. Some are living in cars with their parents because the parents don't have a place to actually abide other than living in the Chevrolet. That's really tragic, and it's something that I wish we could look at more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we don't see much of that. I mean, I know that's out there, and potentially it's out there, but the population that we have. There are people that are marginalized. There's
Right.
no doubt about it. And there probably are people that we don't even see that are in and out of cars. But we don't have groups of children that are living with people in tents that
Good,
we're aware.
good.
I mean, we interact with the homeless population quite a bit. We're very respectful of that. We're very respectful of them. And ultimately, even though it's not our problem, everything falls to us, the police, as a respond. And they have a lot of medical issues, but the problem with that population in general, it's just not medical issues, it's mental issues, and some of it's alcohol, some of it's other substance abuse. So it's a really it's a statewide, nationwide problem. This is going on, especially in the international police chiefs had a huge conference as much as 5 years ago to 10 years ago about out in San Francisco and San Diego in that area, because it was much more prevalent, obviously, with the weather out there. So, I mean, we're seeing it now, but, I mean, this has been an ongoing problem in this nation it just didn't start overnight.
We have someone that wrote in the coffee a couple of days ago. I said I have to save this for the chief when he comes in on Thursday, and it's all about legalization of marijuana, and how they would talk about the state of Colorado and how the number of impairment accidents are through the roof. And he was questioning, is there any advancement in creating like a marijuana breathalyzer yet?
In fact, I just heard there was an article in the Journal on Sunday. There's a company that is trying to do that actually come up with a test that is able to give you the THC level of someone through either a breath test. So there's technology that's working on that now, and I'm sure science will catch up to it. In fact, that's what part of the article was. This person who was developing this was a scientist, and they just explained how in science, until something a lot of times becomes an issue, nobody focuses on it. So this was not an issue that anyone really thought about, a breath test that would give the amount of THC in someone's system. So, and they explained,
now it is.
yeah, but they explained in how they can do it with alcohol. And when it was started with alcohol, it just, I'm not a chemist, but the test breaks out certain chemical compositions. And I guess with the THC, it's just a little more complicated. They have to eliminate a little bit more, but it's something that they're working on, and something I'm sure that'll probably be done in the next few years.
That's great. Good,
Yeah.
big help
No.
for
It's
you
a tool,
guys.
it's a tool for us. Because obviously, we never want to wrongly accuse somebody who's not intoxicated or not impaired. So anything that's going to give us a better reading as to what their actual state is or how much they've had is a thing that we would look for.
Have you seen more impaired accidents? Not drunk driving, but just drug impaired accidents.
We see our share, but I haven't really seen it yet because, to be honest with you, even though it's been now just legalized, it's been around for some period of time.
All right.
The recreational marijuana. I mean, let's be realistic. The medical marijuana, once that went, how many people? All you needed to get a medical marijuana card is I got a backache.
Yeah.
Basically, and you got a medical marijuana card. So it's been around that way, and unfortunately, the illegal marijuana will not go away as a result of that. And that's one of what Colorado tried to do. They claimed that they thought that they were going to eliminate the black market by legalizing it.
And it didn't, right?
It increased the black market because it became more competitive as far as pricing goes. So it's the adverse effect.
All right. When you talk about recruitment and the thinking of the public, I thought about this because we had the story of the man in Providence that was convicted of shooting his girlfriend and putting her in his refrigerator, and asked, "Well, why did you call 911?" And his response was, "Because I don't trust the police." I'm like, I said, I don't understand that kind of thinking. When something like this happens.
Well, I mean, that's the whole idea in community policing is where I'd like to think we're an anomaly here in Woonsocket, because everything that I've seen since my time here in Woonsocket, the community in general is extremely supportive of what we do. I mean,
that's great.
When we're out and about, and I'm out talking to people. I can't tell you. I had a couple that want to remain anonymous that just brought us in a huge cake yesterday. They bring it in every year because it's Police Week. It was that, so they wanted us. Actually, Landmark is bringing lunch to the police station today. at noontime. So we have tremendous support here from the community, and my offices interact very well with the public. And that's the whole idea. You build that trust that you want that. So in some places, if the reputation, and whether it's true or not, but if the belief or the reputation of the community is that there's something wrong in the police department, they're not fair, they're not nice to people, then they're going to be hesitant to call. We're always going to have, there's always a group that's going to be hesitant to deal with the police, or don't like the police. But I love the citizens of Woonsocket and the support that they give us, and all the time.
All right, well, we're coming to the end of the show, so we thank everyone for listening. Glad you could join us today, Chief. Always good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Joey. I appreciate that. Nice to see you two folks. Happy birthday
Yes.
to both of you.
Thank you very
Hopefully
much.
you both have something well planned for the day.
I think Bob's working.
I didn't mean together.
All right. Emily, thanks for coming in, and a happy birthday.
Thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll be here next week, same time, same place.
Emily's going to have the 10. Have you seen her T-shirt? She's going to have 10 all the way wieners today.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see?
So this was
That t-shirt.
made at River's Edge Arts. It is from one of the students from Woonsocket that is in their program, and yes, I am a true Oneyville.
A wiener person, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, very good. Bob, happy birthday to you.
Thank
for
you
coming
very
in.
much. Hope to see you again next week.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone, and stay tuned for Gary Smith of the Crew. Do you remember? It's coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Breeze Airways began nonstop flights between Rhode Island